Now, first of all, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video, and please welcome back once again to my channel. I'm just requesting you to please support me by subscribing, just in case you're here for the first time, or maybe you're currently watching this video and you haven't subscribed. But also you can press the notification bell so that YouTube can automatically update you by sending you the notifications immediately I post a video here on this channel. And to my subscribers, to my returning subscribers, I really want to appreciate you so much, because without your support, then this channel cannot be where it is currently. So feel very much welcome as you watch this video, and I really don't take your support for granted. This is actually my third video for today, because in my first video, I talked about the former head of state, Uhuru Kenyatta, defending or supporting President William Samoei Ruto's housing levy and the whole housing project, and also supporting the Finance Bill 2023, while the Azimio La Umoja Alliance leadership, led by Raila Odinga, is opposing the housing levy. So you can just go and confirm. You can go and check out that video. The second video, I talked about the Azimio La Umoja Alliance parliamentary group meeting that was held yesterday by Raila Odinga at Kalonzo Musyoka's command center in Karen. I also talked about, in that video, majority of Azimio La Umoja Alliance leaders boycotted that event, embarrassing Raila Odinga. Only 130 MPs attended that event. So you can just go check out the reasons as to why the Azimio La Umoja Alliance leaders decided to boycott that event. They decided not to attend that parliamentary group meeting. But in this video today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want us to talk about the former head of state, Uhuru Kenyatta, who is currently in Nigeria. So ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Kenyatta is currently in Nigeria together with the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi himself. And I just want you to look at these photos here. You can see Uhuru Kenyatta together with Musalia Mudavadi. They actually met in Nigeria, in Abuja, yesterday. Uhuru Kenyatta has been in Nigeria since 27th of May, which was actually last week on Saturday. And according to my opinion, based on facts and my observations, is that Uhuru Kenyatta is actually in Nigeria simply because of only one mission, or only one mission actually. And I personally believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is in Nigeria simply because he wants to represent President William Samoei Ruto and the country, Kenya, during the inauguration ceremony, or the swearing-in ceremony of the current president of Nigeria, who was recently elected by the name Bola Tinubu. First of all, the reason as to why I'm saying this is that, majority of people here can argue that the person who represented President William Ruto in Nigeria during the inauguration ceremony is none other than Musalia Mudavadi. Yes, that is true. I cannot oppose that issue. But when you look at the ranking, when you consider the ranking issue, is that Uhuru Kenyatta is actually the one who was representing Kenya as a whole. The person who was representing the face of Kenya here is none other than Uhuru Kenyatta. I personally believe that President William Samoei Ruto had to send Musalia Mudavadi just because of the political nature in the country, because of the political indifferences or the political differences between William Samoei Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. But the person who was representing Kenya as a whole here, the face of Kenya here, is none other than Uhuru Kenyatta. That is why Uhuru Kenyatta was the one who was recognized there, and he was given that opportunity to offer the inaugural speech, while Musalia Mudavadi did not speak during that event, the inauguration speech. So that is the first reason. Uhuru Kenyatta went there to represent the face of Kenya and also President William Samoei Ruto. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the state-sponsored travel. How did Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta arrive in Nigeria? You know, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is the former head of state. Therefore, President William Samoei Ruto, as the President of the Republic of Kenya, put away politics. He had to reserve Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's means or state travel. Whenever Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has a function across the country or out of the country, ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Kenyatta must use the Kenya Air Force jet. And that is basically how Uhuru Kenyatta arrived in Nigeria, in Abuja. And actually, William Samoei Ruto had to offer the state-sponsored travel. You know, people can argue that Uhuru Kenyatta deserves that ownership. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta deserves to be using the Air Force jet. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that if William Samoei Ruto was a bad president politically, if William Samoei Ruto would be using politics each and every time, I personally believe that because politics is all about interest, William Samoei Ruto would not have offered the state sponsored travel to the former head of state, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Remember how Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta himself mistreated William Samoei Ruto, yet he was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Whenever William Samoei Ruto, if you can still remember, wanted to travel abroad, William Samoei Ruto had to use his own personal means. He would go. I remember when he wanted to travel to Uganda, he was forced to cancel that safari because there was no way. He was blocked actually, because he was humiliated so much. So if William Samoei Ruto was bad enough, he would not have offered that means to the former head of state, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. But because William Samoei Ruto is actually a gentleman politically, then he has to put away politics and to consider leadership here, that Uhuru Kenyatta is actually the former head of state and he deserves the respect that he deserves and the ownership that he deserves. So basically here, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was in Nigeria to represent William Samoei Ruto and the face of Kenya simply because of the state-sponsored travel that was offered by none other than President William Samoei Ruto. Thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, let us look at Uhuru Kenyatta's inaugural speech during that event in Nigeria. You cannot say that Uhuru Kenyatta was there simply because he was there to represent the Azimio Alliance, because Uhuru Kenyatta is actually one of the leaders of the Azimio Alliance. How Uhuru Kenyatta talked, his speech in Nigeria confirmed that he is actually a leader and the former head of state and a leader here in Kenya. Just go and look at his speech, the way he talks. He did not talk as the Azimio Alliance leader. He talked like a leader. He talked like a leader who deserves the respect that he deserves. His speech actually confirmed that he was once the former head of state. He is actually still a leader here in Kenya, and he did not talk like a politician there. So that is why I'm saying that Uhuru Kenyatta actually went there to represent the face of Kenya. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Uhuru Kenyatta's first time in Nigeria immediately during the Nigeria general election. If you can still remember, during the entire general election process in Nigeria, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was the one. He actually traveled there. And if you can still remember, Uhuru Kenyatta was appointed by the African Union as the head of election observation mission. And the reason as to why Uhuru Kenyatta was appointed to oversee the general election as the African Union General Election Observation Mission is because, remember that Uhuru Kenyatta is currently leading the peace envoy in the entire Horn of Africa. And he was basically appointed by none other than President William Samoei Ruto. So basically here, he was somebody to be trusted. He was somebody who was looked upon by various leaders across Africa so that he can oversee the entire election process until the final election process was done. So what I'm talking about here, ladies and gentlemen, is that Uhuru Kenyatta was there to represent the face of Kenya simply because he was in charge of that entire election and he had to appear during the inauguration ceremony or the swearing-in ceremony. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about Uhuru Kenyatta together with the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi in Nigeria? What's your thought about their meeting there? What comes to your mind when you see Uhuru Kenyatta representing Kenya and William Samoei Ruto in Nigeria? What can you say about that issue? Let me hear your thoughts on the comment section below. Otherwise, I don't have much. Thank you so much for watching this video. But please, I still have got another video coming through. I will still upload in a few hours. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.